Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my White Aura Fish Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-Phantom Nightmare. The White Aura Fish were actually a deck used in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 manga, but we got some new support in the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster set. Some pretty interesting support for the playstyle of the deck, which focuses on being able to special summon back your many different White Aura Fish monsters in the form of their Synchro monsters back from the banish, or having cards that just focus on the banish and set up in your graveyard with your many different fish monsters. So very happy with the results of the deck. It's kind of an overlooked deck, but hopefully with this new support we got and some upcoming support in the future as well, we'll see more relevance for this pretty fun synchro deck. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the main deck monsters, we'll start off with our new White Sardine. You can send one White Sardine from your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the X deck for the rest of this turn, except for water monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. And if it's special summoned from the graveyard, you can treat it as a tuner. So just having tuner options with this card as well, giving it as a level 2 monster means we can use it with our next monster, which is White Sunfish, to go for the synchro play of our White Aura Porpoise as well for that summon. If this card's in your hand, you can target a level 4 lower fish monster in your graveyard with the same card name as one you control. Special summon this card. If you do special summon that monster, you only use this effect of Sunfish once per turn, and if it's special summoned from the graveyard, you can also treat it as a tuner. So you can use Sunfish to grab Sardine and then go for the level 6 synchro play that I mentioned before. Since your White Sardine was special summoned from the graveyard, it will count as the tuner. So definitely a 3 of with all these new cards. It just helps with the special summon consistency for the deck. And then also the 3 copies of White Moray. During your turn, you normal summon this card. It can attack your opponent directly. And if it's special summoned from the graveyard, you can treat it as a tuner this turn also. Now, I have this here also as a potential placeholder, because you can also substitute White Moray for White Stingray, being a level 4 monster that can also be treated as a tuner with a little more easier special summon play as well. It's player preference. So if you have the White Stingray, you can move around the numbers between White Moray and that card as well to add whatever you want for that particular play. And we're also running the 3 copies of Abyss Shark, having another easy special summon onto the field thanks to this card. And then also with this card, you can add one level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand. So having a search for White Sunfish can help with grabbing a monster to at least then make use of a special summon from the graveyard using this card after it's added to our hand. And then for more of the water monster setup, I run 3 copies of Nimble Beaver. With this card, when it's normal summon, you can special summon one level 3 or lower Nimble monster from your deck or graveyard. Being able to grab another Nimble Beaver and not have any restrictions for our special summons mean we have other monsters to use for our additional extra deck plays using the many different Nimble monsters that we get out. And also 2 copies of Nimble Angler, so we have more of a setup for our Nimble monsters to be able to summon out onto the field as well, using the Nimble Beaver and then Nimble Angler as well, if it was sent, having a special summon for our other Nimble Beavers to the field also, with the last of our fish monsters being 2 copies of Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelegant, being able to special summon for as many level 4 lower fish monsters as possible from our deck to the field, means we also have a target in the form of Nimble Angler to grab along with all of our other White Aura fish monsters. With the last of the main deck monsters being 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, just a hand trap spot for choice to use, along with our other one being our Infinite Impermanence to stop any of our opponent's graveyard plays or any of their searches they may try to do from their deck as well. Moving on now to the spells, I run 3 copies of White Reincarnation. When it's activated, you can add 1 fish monster with an effect that treats itself as a tuner from your deck to your hand. And once per turn at the end of the damage step, if your White Aura monster attacked, you can activate this effect. The attacking monster can make a second attack in a row. And once per turn, if a level 8 or higher fish synchro monster is special summoned from your graveyard, even during the damage step, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. You can only activate 1 White Reincarnation per turn, but being able to search out all of the white fish monsters with this card gives us access to Sunfish, Sardine, you name it, whichever one, and then an additional power-up for our level 8 or higher fish synchro monsters, which our main boss monster comes in the form of White Aura Whale when we use that card. I also run the 3 copies of Moray of Avarice just for more draw power with the different fish monsters we run. If there are any extras that you open up, let's say in your hand, like multiples, you at least then have a banish for that card to draw 2. And then also 2 copies of White Fish Salvage. You target 1 fish monster in your graveyard, add to your hand. You can use this effect of White Fish Salvage once per turn. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can take 1 fish from your deck and either add to your hand or special summon, giving you another special summon resource onto the field for your many different fish monsters to use as well. And then 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. Run a good number of other synchro monsters that can act as generic or banish cost for this card to at least grab the particular cards we may need for any of our plays. And also the 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent for more draw power or being able to take our opponent's resources. And the 1 copy of Call by the Grave as just another way to stop any of our opponent's hand traps from stopping our own special summons. I also thought of maybe running Salvage in this spot since it can special summon fish monsters from the graveyard to let us use our White Aura monsters. So if you don't want to run the Triple Tactics Talent and the Call by the Grave, you can always put in 3 copies of Salvage to have another way to special summon our fish monsters from the graveyard. And then for the traps, the 1 copy of Goes in Match, since our entire extra deck mostly consists of water monsters aside from the new Fish Lamp. So it can limit our opponent while not really hurting any of our plays. And also the 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just along with Ash Blossom, another hand trap spot to use against our opponents. And moving on now to the extra deck, I run 2 copies of White Aura Porpoise. If this card's synchro summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower fish monster from your hand or graveyard. In defense position, then you can special summon 1 monster with the same name as that card from your graveyard. You can use this effect of White Aura Porpoise once per turn. If this card's in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 other water monster from your graveyard to special summon this card. And if you do, it's treated as a tuner monster. So being able to treat Porpoise as a tuner means we can use our other white fish monsters as the non-tuner to then go in for some of the bigger synchro plays as well. Being a monster that can special summon them from the graveyard as well, can treat them as a tuner respectfully. So then we each have that play to then use for the special summon for our many different resources, being able to special summon the 1 from your hand or graveyard in defense, and then special summon 1 from the same name from your graveyard. So you can grab those many monsters and then just use them to rank up into the bigger synchro plays as well. Also, the 2 copies of White Aura Dolphin. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack become half its original attack. And if this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you can banish another water monster from your graveyard to special summon this card, and it is treated as a tuner. So there goes for the special summon of another fish monster onto the field to be treated as a tuner, with our bigger boss monsters being the 1 White Aura Whale and the White Aura Monosaurus as well, depending on the play you want to go for with both of these higher level synchro monsters. And for more of the generic ones, 1 Navy Dragon Mech, 1 Brionac, 1 DeLorean, along with 1 Trishula and 1 Crystron Phoenix for the rest of the synchro monsters, and 1 Fish Lamp as just another level 4 tuner to summon out and make use of the tokens that it summons, with our link monsters being 1 copy of Coral Anemone, 1 Water Area, Water Charmer Gentle, and the 1 Miss Starboy. Since, like I said, we'll be locked into water for some of the plays, so at least we have some link monsters to go into also. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, if you open up or at least have means to search, like with cards like White Reincarnation, to add a fish monster with an effect that treats as a tuner, if you at least have one of the other monsters, you can use that card to grab 1 more to your hand. Then you can use White Sardine, sending another one from your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. And then if your White Sunfish is in your hand, targeting the level 4 lower monster in your graveyard with the same name as one you control, special summon this card. If you do, special summon that monster, so then you get your 2 resources onto the field. So you have your 1 White Sardine, the one you sent to the graveyard special summon, which is now also treated as a tuner. So you can use that monster with your other White Sunfish to then summon out your White Aura Porpoise to the field. And when it's synchro summon, you can special summon a level 4 lower fish monster from your hand or graveyard in defense, grabbing you another White Sardine, which will be treated as a tuner as well. So then you have the means to then go into your bigger level 8 synchro play using those monsters as well, summoning out the White Aura Whale, having the monster needed also to use with White Reincarnation. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. It's a quick little update for the White Aura Fish deck, an overlooked deck from the manga, since a good number of the cards were just either used in Duel Links or just for more of their generic support. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.